What is your dream job?
My dream job would be to be a writer on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
My dream job would be to work in the entertainment business, but a specific dream job I have right now is to be a writer or a researcher on the staff for Last Week Tonight with John Oliver.
Drew you to wanting to write for that show specifically?
Because I think it's a very sharp, funny program, and it spreads awareness, and it actually makes a difference in the world, which is nice. And I think they cover a lot of like kind of obscure topics, and they spread awareness, so it's a really good show.
Well, I was a big fan of the Colbert Report when he did it. That like lit a fire in me. Like that like inspired my entire sense of humor and everything. And I really love like the character he played on that show, and I really love just the way he presented news. And then he switched over, and I would follow him into the dark. So I naturally was like very into this new show. And then I heard in that giant, like I think Vanity Fair spread that they did with all the late night hosts, that Colbert only has 2 female writers on his staff, which was incredibly disappointing to hear from someone that you've admired for so long that, you know, talks about these things, and you, not to be dramatic, but you think that they care about these things, and then you find out that, you know, they're not out there fighting for the cause. And it kind of made me want to join the ranks with the women who were, you know, granted entry to the Late Show.
You think it's become such a boys' club, these writing rooms, and even late night in itself has become a boys' club?
Still, like, everyone's kind of gotten used to it, you know, and it's just easier for everyone to kind of say, why would we hire a woman or someone who's not white, or, you know, someone who's not straight, someone who doesn't fit that white straight man, like, mold, you know, like, because it's what everyone kind of knows at this point, and it's easier. It's just easier. I think it's definitely easier, and I think there are so many like great voices out there trying to change that, but I think there's a long way to go with it.
Because, you know, from like, back in like the days like when you just start out with the late night and like the Johnny Carson and everything, it's always kind of been seen as like a boys' club, you know, like Saturday Night Live. But I think it's slowly starting to change. But I think a lot of times, like I've read different articles written by women who have worked as writers in late night, and they just kind of say that like for some reason a lot of the men feel like it's different when you have a woman in the room compared to when it's all guys. So like they're a little more like cautious about stuff. But I think we're in a generation now where it's kind of, the tides are starting to turn. So I don't know if, like, by the time I can go out and do things, if it'll really be that different. But I think we'll be around for the shift of when it will. Because, I mean, for the longest time, we really only had, like, men in the late night game. But, like, we had Chelsea Handler on her show. But now Chelsea's coming back on Netflix. You got Samantha Bee with her show coming out on CBS. And she was very funny on The Daily Show. So I'm very excited about that. So I think we're in the generation where it's going to turn. But we necessarily, like, won't be there for, you know, all of it. So I think at the beginning it might be a little challenging, but it's not going to stop me from trying.